We are live. I am Jay, aka the Ink Jedi. This is the Comic Book Fiend Club presents the Fiendcast. I am your host, but I am not alone today. I am also joined by my brothers. Take it away. Next person on the list.
Is Seven on Instagram, and I.
And I'm Tom, aka Tom Fiestian on Instagram.
Steve, aka the Bataholic on Instagram.
It's your boy Boogie, aka the Boogeyman, 718 on Instagram, aka your grandmother's favorite rapper. We in here.
What up? I'm Julian, aka Conker76 on Instagram.
What's up? What's up? I'm Chad, aka the Canadian Geek on Instagram, East Chapter.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew, aka the Friendly Faced Viking on Instagram. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Cabby's Eyes on Instagram. Just chilling out with my boys.
We want to welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Last week's episode was very fun, and we hope that this week's episode is just as fun. So I guess we're going to start off the cast today going over the recent news that Ruby Rose will be playing Batwoman. This news broke over the week by many different outlets. So we're going to go take this to Steve right now. Steve, want to get your thoughts, opinions. What do you think?
I'm excited for her. I mean, I think she's going to do a terrific job. It's really disappointing to see the backlash that she's getting right now for accepting the role and being cast as Batwoman. I even saw yesterday that she had completely quit Twitter, which seems to be the trend right now. It's really unfortunate that people have taken such a negative tone to her casting and not even willing to give her a chance. Honestly, I think it's pretty fucking ugly, to be honest with you, the way people are treating her, and I'm not a real big fan of it.
Drewski, what do you think?
I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, I know a lot of the hate she's been getting has been about, her acting style, but I disagree with that. I think she's going to do great, and I think it's awesome that they're bringing somebody from the LGBTQ community in to play a character that is in that community. Actually, I think it's a smart move. I think it's really great to be that inclusive, and I think the show is going to be awesome. So it's definitely a good thing for sure.
Sweet. Tommy, what do you think?
I think it's great casting. A lot of people are worried about the fact that they don't think she might not be that great of an actress, but realistically, she's nowhere near as bad as like watching Ronda Rousey try and act. So I think,
Smash.
I think she'll do a great job. And watching people go back and talk about how they think they're just taking a Batman and then turning it into a female and making her gay and making this something to put out to public. And she's been a character forever. I don't know where all these people are just assuming this is some new thing that they're trying to do to make more gay rights happen. It's ridiculous.
I agree. Let's see. Cabby, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like it. Like I like I like how she acts, and so far I only have seen her in Orange Is the New Black, and despite her only being in like literally a couple episodes and that's it, she's literally only in there for like a small little bit and then she's done. But what she was in, she was good, and I think that she'd do damn good as Batwoman. Really, like I think it'll be good casting. Really,
yeah.
Agreed. Julian, your thoughts?
I think it's really good. As Steve said, it's good to hear all the negative that the community has spoken about her being cast. You guys mentioned Orange Is the New Black before, but she killed it, in my opinion, in John Wick 2. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really exciting to see her take on it.
Boogeyman, your thoughts?
Honestly, I really don't give a fuck. I've only seen her in like I've only seen her in like two movies, maybe top. One movie I saw her in, she was pretty good. She was a badass girl, beating dudes' asses. So, I mean, she's probably gonna do a kick-ass job in it. I mean, I don't know. Are they like making her gay in the movie, or is it just the fact that she's a gay actress?
I think most of the backlash is like they don't think she's fit for the role.
Right.
I personally have seen some really ridiculous things when it comes to cast. I remember when they cast the Black Panther, people were mad that it was an actual. People thought that it was the actual Black Panther Party being portrayed in the film, and that just shows that people don't always know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
They don't bother.
Halle Berry as Catwoman. Halle Berry as Catwoman.
Actually, one of my favorite movies of all time. Don't do that disrespect. Chad, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, well, Cabby kind of snuck in there like a thief in the night and stole what I was gonna say. Yeah, she was really good on Orange is the New Black. Although she was good in John Wick, it wasn't really the acting. It was just how well she kind of brought like a gravitas to the role of being like this silent. She can't talk, so she does like sign language hitman. But like she was in Triple X, the one where Vin Diesel comes back, and she was horrible in that horrible movie. So I think she might be one of those good actors where they just not, a superstar actor for the Hollywood, but they're really good to go on TV where they can shine. So I think it's a great casting choice.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, ourselves as a community, we're very toxic when we don't like something, and then we clearly try to make our voices heard, and then it goes from giving an opinion to blatantly attacking people. It's really, really terrible that we're like this. I remember the Asian actress who was in the Star Wars film had the same issue where people were attacking her, making racist remarks. Just because she was in the film. Again, I feel if you have a problem with the casting, you don't go after the actress, right? Go after the studio. It's a different thing.
Do you remember how pissed off people were when Idris Elba was cast as Hemdall for the Thor movie?
Oh yeah,
people were fucking losing their minds.
Hey, I see he nailed it. He was so good. He was.
That's the problem, though, with a lot of people. And a lot of people want a voice, but have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They don't even know why.
Yeah. When they first cast Iron Fist, one of the first articles was like white man to play Iron Fist. Well, obviously you've never read a comic book in your life because you would know.
He's a white character.
Rand is a white character.
Right.
So
exactly.
Stop being pissed off. It just makes no sense.
Look at the backlash that Starfire got, and the actress playing her. I mean, my lord.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Domino as well, people were like, "Oh, I'm like, come on."
Well, they're freaking like Starfire can't be black. It's like she's fucking orange.
Right.
Like what?
Yeah. It's just I feel like if we don't get better as a community and like give an opinion, that just shit like this is just going to keep happening, and we're never going to be happy with anything. You can't please everybody.
No.
Yeah. No.
Well, you know what's going to happen too. You know what's going to happen too is that actors who are going to, have a role for a superhero movie or show might not even want it because they're going to be afraid of all the backlash that they might receive from fans. And that could possibly kill this era of comic book movies and comic book shows.
Yeah.
We're going to be the end of our own good fun.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's obvious when the fans get together to make a point, you can see if the point they're making is a legit one or if they're just causing shit. And we're turning into like a community that causes shit over nothing at all.
So it's more fun to cause shit, didn't you know?
That's why we can't have anything nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, these are the same yuppies that go on blogs and everything and talk shit because, the Avengers movie didn't follow the storyline in the comic book. Oh, the Infinity movie didn't follow the storyline in the comic book. Obviously, it didn't follow the comic book. You know how long that movie would have to be?
Right.
Detail?
Right.
You'd have to have 28 fade to blacks like Pete Jackson did with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so let's hope that they continue forward. They don't let any of this negativity get to them, and they produce something good. They produce something that we all want to see and can enjoy.
It's gonna be good. It should
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
I agree. Moving on, Sony announced some movies that they're releasing, including the Morbius film. Chad, you want to give any thoughts on that?
Yeah. You have to give me. I got kind of a cold here, so my voice is really raspy. But
Get off the show.
it seems like they're just pushing. It all depends if they have an end game. Like if they're going to try to join up the Night Stalkers movies with Blade and Hannibal, and then also join that to the Spider-Man, franchise that they're starting to build with Venom. It just seems like an odd character to start it off with. I would have figured they would have used like Blade, and then kind of introduce other characters in that one. But we'll see. I like Jared Leto. I think he'll do a great job. So
I agree. Kevin, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a little weird that we're having a Morbius movie. I think Venom makes a little more sense because Venom can stand a little bit better on his own. Especially if we're covering
Kevin.
Yeah, whatever. I knew it was gonna come from you. You got stories like the Lethal Protector, but how long can a Venom movie really go on? I think it's gonna be good for like a one and done kind of thing. Morbius having his own movie just seems a little more weird because Morbius doesn't have Morbius didn't have like a title on his own. He doesn't have villains. And it's just an excuse so Sony can keep the rights for.
He did have a title. He had a solo title there.
No, I know he did have a title. I just know it wasn't as big as it is.
No, not nearly. No.
It
I liked it though.
Yeah, did you?
It was good.
I think. Oh man, who's the actor? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. Jared Leto. I think Jared Leto would maybe play better as Morbius than Joker.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's a real life vampire anyway, so.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I'm just interested to see how that story will go.
Tommy, what are your thoughts?
I don't really know. When it comes to Jared Leto, I hate him in general. I don't find any movie he's ever done to be good. Suicide Squad was a steaming. Wow. Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. Suicide Squad was a steaming pile of crap. Like there wasn't a single part of it I enjoyed.
Amen.
And I felt like he made it worse. But so I like Morbius as a character, and I think he'd be really cool to be in Spider-Man movies in some way. His own movie, I doubt that could really be a thing that would work out too well. But especially if it's a Jared Leto Morbius, I'm just not into it.
Gotcha. And just to be clear, according to
throwing some shade.
According to Variety, they're saying that they're going to have the Morbius movie, a Craven the Hunter film, and they're in the works about creating a Silk movie as well.
That's right. From the studio that brought you Spider-Man. 3 movies
Silk could be
nobody
cool.
wants to see.
No, I think Silk would be a cool one to watch. I don't know, but Craven and Morbius, meh.
I think what the end goal is for all these films to somehow tie in with Spider-Man at some point.
Yeah.
How they do that, I don't know. But let me shoot it over to Steve. Steve, what do you think about all this Sony movie talk right now?
Honestly, I believe in Jared Leto as an actor. I think he's a pretty good actor. I didn't think he had a chance in Suicide Squad. They didn't give him shit to do in that movie. They gave him a horrible look. He didn't stand a chance from the onset. As far as a Morbius movie goes, I don't really give a shit. Not to steal Boogie's tone, but I don't give a shit about a Morbius movie. Will I go watch it? Yeah, sure. I'll check it out. I try to support all these shit shows, but I honestly don't care about a Morbius movie, about the character in general, his subplots, his characters in his universe. I don't give a shit. But,
I mean, I think when it does come out, I think we should all come back here together and just spoiler cast it. Talk about what we liked, what we didn't like.
I agree.
How long we stood in the theater before walking out. I think it'll be great. Julian, thoughts, opinions?
Kind of with the same with Steve. I don't really know the character that well. I'd rather a Blade film first. If they're going to bring people back for character in that genre, I'd rather want Blade. But,
right.
I'm going to go see it anyway. It's a comic book film. But then again, agreeing with Tom, I'm not a fan of Jared Leto. Like,
You son of a bitch.
I think I'm probably the only guy in the club that likes Suicide Squad. So, so I'm scared to ask.
Like, that's me. Is
What? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I said I'm scared to ask, but what do you think, Boogie?
Honestly, man, I'm a big fan of Morbius, so I'm actually kind of excited for this movie if Sony doesn't fuck it up. I mean, you know, he's probably one of the most underrated characters in Marvel. You know, he very rarely gets his own series and things, and when he does, his series go for a fairly long run. I mean, he's never had like a small, short, limited series. It's always been pretty long runs, and he's done a lot of cameos in different titles. I think there may be a possibility. The reason that they're even starting with Morbius is because maybe they're going to switch the whole thing up and give him a totally different storyline. And I guarantee you, before the movie even drops, they're gonna come out with a fucking new comic book. They're gonna come out with a new series and a brand new storyline. Mark my words.
Sure, absolutely.
If it led into a Legion of Monsters movie, I'd be all about it.
That would be great.
Right.
It would be great. Definitely. Viking, what do you think?
Hello? Who?
Drew, what do you think? Sorry, I was on mute.
Where'd he go? Drew.
Hey, Drew.
Give us your thoughts.
I think it's a little odd that, you know, with Morbius, Craven, and Silk, they're kind of trying to make movies out of B characters. You know, it's kind of like giving Jubilee a standalone movie. You know, like, you know, I'm sure if there's going to be fan, like Boogie said, he's a fan of Morbius. He's going to go check that movie out. I don't hate Jared Leto. I've liked some of the stuff he's been in, but I could give less than two shits about a Morbius movie. I'd rather see a Blade remake, just because the first one was so damn good, and it'd be cool to see them cast a new guy. But I mean, all these other characters, I get they're trying to maybe expand the Spider-Man universe a little bit and kind of give it a little bit more depth, but I think they'd be better served in feeding into the MCU a little bit better than trying to create a Spider-Verse that's completely separate.
I read an online theory about this movie. Sorry. I read a theory that Sony wanted to steal Leto away from DC because he was so disappointed with how they treated him over at Suicide Squad that they gave him like a bunch of different options, and he chose Morbius as the movie he wanted to do. But that's just a theory.
Right.
And if it's true, it's a ballsy move.
Yeah, it is, truly. Gabby, what are your thoughts?
Well, see, I like him. I do like him as Morbius, but other than that, like it's strange, really. Like, I would almost rather them do the Craven movies first, because you can kind of get a little bit more of a backstory out of that with Morbius, instead of just doing like, here's a vampire, have fun, you know, because they've done vampire movies before, and you know, like Blade kind of did good, you know, had its thing, you know, awesome. It was a good movie, but right at the end there, it was like, okay, really, like seriously, guys, like you're kind of running out of ideas here. So
Blade Trinity was horrible.
Yeah, like they could have introduced Morbius off of that, but they obviously decided to say, fuck it, we're done, we're moving on. All right, now we're doing this. We're doing Morbius now. They need a better stepping stone, unless they're going to somehow incorporate Morbius with like the symbiotes out of like the Venom movie, because that's the only way that I can really see them kind of like doing any kind of backstory. I'll use air quotations with that, backstory for Morbius, really, because what else do they really have? They don't really have much, unless they delve so deep into the backstory of like Spider-Man and all the villains,
right,
and all this other stuff. then you're going to need to do all of the other villains first instead of just doing that one villain. Here you go.
Yeah, I think my thing is like, I know. I feel like there was a time and a place for like this whole superhero, this whole vampire craze. I mean, you had your Twilight films, you had True Blood, you had a bunch of vampire themed shows. But now
Fucking every TV show,
TV show had some vampire plot to it. I'm just hoping that if Sony does make this film, that they know that. I think we as a people and a nation has moved past this whole vampire craze. So I don't know how well it will do. I have a feeling they might try to do something like what is that, Interview with a Vampire kind of deal.
Make it dark. Make it kind of
more like a crime noir kind of,
or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, Morbius' whole backstory, though, I mean, it's actually a really, really interesting story. I mean, he's not made a vampire by getting bit, like by a typical vampire story. He's a vampire because of a blood disease that he has, and
he's a living vampire.
And in the storyline with Spider-Man and the Lizard, they end up fighting him only because they're trying to get a sample of his blood so they can cure the Lizard of what happened to him.
I remember that from the cartoons.
Yeah,
right.
TV
Back
show.
in the day. Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, it's an interesting storyline, and it makes for like a really good drama, But to go off of what Cabby said about the whole, I think it was Cabby that said about the B-list characters and whatnot. When you think about it, before any movie, who were these characters? They were nobody. Nobody except for real fans like us knew who Spider-Man was or knew who Wolverine was. Like, it wasn't until these movies that everybody started jumping on board, and they went from B-list characters to A-list characters. Same thing with Blade. When Blade came out, who the fuck is Blade? I don't know. It's Wesley Snipes with a sword. Let's go watch it.
It was awesome.
Agreed. About what Jay said about you totally missed the vampire craze train by like almost a decade. Okay, to show you how hard they're really holding on to it very hard, and I kind of see that this, the rights is just slipping fingers, anything they possibly can, but I don't know, anything with a more system.
Groovy. So moving on, two MCU characters have been confirmed for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Where's Spider-Man's dad at?
First character confirmed would be Nick Fury, which is Samuel Jackson. He has been cast, and Maria Hill as well have been confirmed for the film. So what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about this movie? Have you guys heard any news, any possible villains, direction of this film is trying to go? I'll leave it to the floor. Has anyone heard anything?
You mean we're talking about Far From Home?
Might be Mysterio. Like, I did hear a Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal is Mysterio.
Yeah. That's
Did
what
that
I
ever
heard
become
too.
official?
That's it.
No, it didn't. It's still not official, but they're filming. It's going to be set in London.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal was seen in London of Spider-Man Far From Home.
Well, they're saying it's going to take place after Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Which kind of spoils the next film.
I can film that in my backyard. I can just film dirt.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
So obviously they're gonna, obviously Spider-Man's coming back. I mean, I don't think that was ever in question. But exactly. It kind of, I think it'll be interesting that they're gonna have Sam Jackson and Kobe Smulders come back in. So maybe there might be a little tie-in with Captain Marvel a little bit too. and that kind of thing, getting her hype up going for the movie that's coming out. I think next fall, is that when it is?
This fall.
So.
No,
This fall.
This year.
Oh
This
shit,
fall.
my bad, my mistake.
We're gonna be getting a trailer in any weeks, I think, in the next couple weeks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you've got Captain Marvel coming out March, then Avengers 4 in May, and then Spider-Man. So all three of those can really tie in with each other since they're that close together.
Yeah,
It
currently
would
Jake
only make
Gyllenhaal,
sense they're that close.
definitely. Jake Gyllenhaal is definitely still in talks to play Mysterio, which I think would be pretty cool. Kind of different.
That could work.
Different villain. And we know it's definitely going to take place in Europe. Julian, what are your thoughts on Far From Home? What do you think it needs to probably just beat the last film that came out for it?
You know what? I don't think it's really going to need that much to beat the first one. I enjoyed the first one, but I think you're going to have so much hype from Avengers 4 that it's going to kind of boost itself. People are going to want to see it because of Avengers 4, because obviously something's going to happen at the end of Avengers 4 that's going to kick into Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Gyllenhaal, if he is 100% confirmed for Mysterio, I really look forward to that character. I think he's a great Spider-Man villain and obviously we'll see who do they build more on. You've got, you had Zendaya as Tom Holland's love interest in the first one. Are they going to build off that? Are they going to be Spider-Gwen into it more? But I really don't think there's that much that they need to have to make it better than the first one, simply because of it's running off the back of Avengers 4.
Right. I think it's going to be interesting looking into that character as far as Mysterio, especially with the things we could do now with like technology and animation and CGI.
Yep.
I think now will be a perfect time to introduce a villain of that stature who can do some pretty amazing things with basically smoke and mirrors kind of deal. Steve, are you looking forward to seeing Far From Home?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. And to be honest with you, we got Spider-Man here, so I'm kind of curious. Why are you Far From Home to begin with, man?
I got lost on the way when I died. I died for you all.
No, I'm really excited for the movie. I think it's going to be awesome. I've read some kind of off-the-wall rumors. This was posted about a month ago, saying there was rumors that Daredevil may appear in the movie. I don't know how much truth there is to that. That would be pretty sweet if that actually happened. But overall, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited. I like the cast overall. Jake Gyllenhaal, I think he'll deliver as Mysterio. I think that's an interesting character to bring to the big screen. I think you can do a lot with that character in a movie with special effects and everything. I think that's the right choice. So overall, yeah, man. I mean, for sure. Let's bring this one on. This one's way more exciting than Morbius to me.
I agree, and I really hope they in some way bring back the Vulture. I thought Michael Keaton did a really amazing job as a villain. Really knocked that role out the park. And I'll be completely honest, I enjoyed him a lot more than I enjoyed Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think like his character as the Vulture was awesome. I truly enjoyed it, and I enjoy how he brought that character to life. And you just can't go wrong with Michael Keaton.
We got to be building towards Sinister Six, right?
That's what I'm assuming. I did hear that Sony was going to make that movie, though, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a separate universe, if they're going to do two separate films. I don't know where they're going with it yet. Tommy, what do you think? Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'm looking forward to the second one. We all knew that Spider-Man, he may have been the most heart-wrenching death in Infinity War. Like, I'll be honest with you, I watched it 2 days ago and I cried again.
Thank you.
So, but we all know he's coming back because we know this movie is happening, and so I'm definitely excited for it. We'll see where it goes and what they do with it, and I have faith in the little combo of Sony and Marvel for that one.
Awesome. Anyone else have any thoughts, opinions? What do you guys think of Far From Home?
I think if you see Jake Gyllenhaal movie called Nightcrawler, where he plays this creepy expose news, like a TMZ kind of guy.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. If he can bring that kind of style, like craziness and like scariness to Mysterio, I think it'll be great.
I personally, as far as Jake Gyllenhaal goes, I think he's an amazing actor. But
without a doubt.
Tom, Holland. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I was never a big fan of him as Spider-Man, to be honest with you. I was disappointed that they keep rebooting the storyline of Spider-Man, making him younger and younger.
That's where it started.
At this point, like I'm just like, another Spider-Man movie. Cool. I'm not too excited for it, and I honestly really don't give a shit. I'm gonna go see it anyway, but whatever.
You're gonna give them their money anyway.
Take my money.
Yeah.
I'll probably.
A win's a win.
So, moving on, keeping the subject of Marvel, news broke this week that Stan Lee will be doing no more public signings. And a message from Desert Wind Comics, they say, as many of you know, Stan Lee has been getting older, and as such, signing opportunities are getting rarer, and getting books signed that are eligible for CGC Signature Series grading is becoming more difficult. The exact date and location of these signings will not be announced for security reasons. We are simply authorized to announce accepting books early and accepting books up to the deadline. So submit early so you don't get caught by surprise and miss anything. The price to get a modern tier book signed and graded is $180. Prices include grading of modern tier book, witnessing, handling fees, stamp signing fee, and non-graded books will be around $160. So it seems like Stan Lee's not going to be doing any more public signings. So if you want to get a Stan Lee signature, I think it's going to have to be maybe through a comic shop or a representative. Just curious, I'm going to go down the line here. I'll start with Cabby. Cabby, what do you think, man, about this whole Stan Lee situation right now?
Well, I got mine right here, so I'm good on the Stan Lee signatures. So I'm good. I don't really care. I think that it's actually a good thing that he's stopping with the public signings, because seriously, he's old. He's an old dude.
He's gonna die at the signing desk.
Exactly. Like some of those videos that you were seeing of him, it was like, whoa, man, like, whoa, this guy needs some like retirement here. Like he needs to go to Florida and just relax. That's it. Like he looks like he just needs to be sitting on a beach, sipping a pina colada, pinching an ass or two, just chilling,
Right.
So I think that it's a good thing that he's not doing it anymore. If you are going to be doing like a private signing, then that's okay. Like why not? It's warranted, but seriously, like let the man rest though. Like let the man rest.
I heard he's charging more to sign with his blood dose, but I gotta confirm that.
Well,
I'm not sure. Chad, what do you think, man?
Yeah, sorry. I think it's about time he stops. CGC is gonna be screwed once he passes away, because everything they try to sell you as a Stan Lee signature. He should have stopped years ago. He's been doing it for so long, and I'm glad to see him. But even then, you gotta wonder how many private signings he's gonna be doing. Maybe he just doesn't want to go in public anymore. So we'll see. But yeah, it's time to quit. Let someone else do it.
Drew, thoughts, opinions?
As somebody who's never really given a shit about getting a Stan Lee signature, I mean, I read, obviously he's Stan the man. He's a legend to us all. But from my opinion, his signature has been decreasing the value of books lately. Is doing private signings. I think is his handlers recently haven't been known for taking good care of people's books, ripping up bags and even tearing covers of books and stuff.
Or Stan himself.
Stan himself, right? Because he's, his brain isn't there anymore. I mean, God, what's the guy? 94, 93, 94 at this point?
95.
95. Shit. Like, let him go. You know what I mean? There's so many. Not like die. That's
damn. Drew's the new Boogie in this bit.
More like a little more like Frozen.
It's time for us to let him go and look to the next generation of legends that are around still. You know what I mean? You got Jim Steranko still around. And he's that crazy son of a bitch. I love that guy. He was awesome. But Stan it's time for him to step away for sure. I think when you start ruining people's books, it's time to stop, because no one's gonna care anymore if you hand him a $5,000 book and it's gonna come back shredded. He's lucky to still be alive after something like that. You know what I mean? Like that gets pretty bad. So I think it's a good thing for him to be stepping down and enjoy what time you have left, and try to keep your brain together, because traveling and the amount of time you have to sit there and sign stuff, it's just not worth it anymore.
It has to be hard on the body.
Right. And he's not going to be making any more freaking money than he already has. You know what I mean? Like $100 a book. Really, at this point, do you really need the money? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does need the money.
He probably will, because everyone's fucking stealing from him.
Yeah, that could be it. But you know what though? I mean, listen, I have sympathy for the man. He's very old, and I'm sure he's got a lot of people taking advantage of him now because he's not all there. Mm-hmm. But I'm a very big believer in karma, and Stan, over the years, on the way up to the top of his ladder, he fucked over a lot of people.
So many people.
He stepped on a lot of toes, and now he's paying for it, if you ask me. I mean, if you think about it, all the years that he's been in business, all the multiple companies that this man has, the movies, royalties that I'm sure he gets. The last thing that I checked, courtesy of comicron.com, as of May 2018, his estimated net worth was only $200 million.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Only 200.
How can you live? Shit. How can you live?
You know what I mean? No, but my point being is that a man of that stature should be worth a hell of a lot more than $200 million.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he's still doing work. He's got to pay out the wazoo for all sorts of shit.
I agree. Julian, your thoughts on Stan the Man?
I met him 3 years ago, because it was the first time that he'd come to, or first time in a long time that he'd come to a Kansas City area. And obviously, yes, I met him and I took got a photo with him and a signature and whatnot. But, as Drew said, these books that are coming back from CGC, or even if their signatures aren't even eligible. It's a big black box of marker in front of your comic book, because the guy can't even sign his name anymore. If you can't read what he's saying, or it's a jumbled up mess, it's just time to go. And it's sad that, obviously we've had all the stuff recently where handlers have stolen from him. And companies are using his name when they shouldn't be and stuff like that. But it's just gotten to the point where, he needs to stop. I think he even needs to stop doing the private signings, because you just need to sit back and relax and enjoy life. And he's just not.
I agree with you. Yeah. So it's really sad. Steve, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, I got respect for Stan and everything that he's given us and helped to contribute to our culture. I mean, I think he deserves a little bit of love for what he's contributed, but I've never had any interest in meeting the man, getting a signature by him. It's unfortunate now The books that he's ruining, his signature looks like shit. The people taking advantage of him, just the whole entire thing, everything that we've mentioned. I think it's best, and as long as he's happy, that he sits at home, he gets his rest, he enjoys, what left he has of this life, and just kind of let it be. But as far as like karma coming back to him or whatever, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's an elderly man. He's 95 years old. How much do you want him to pay at this point? So,
I don't even know why we're asking the DC guy about Stan Lee. He wishes the motherfucker was
Terrible. Tommy.
No.
Yeah. I can say the same thing with Steve, though, because I've never really had an interest in meeting Stan Lee. I get that he created some of the characters that we all love immensely, but, people like Len Wein were much more influential to me than Stan was. Right. And Len told me a great story where he was signing next to Stan Lee years and years and years ago, and someone came up with a Fantastic Four #1, and it was in a bag and board, but it was taped. And so while Stan himself was trying to take it out, the tape got stuck to the cover. Oh. And he just ripped that thing like no tomorrow and took off so much color of the front of that book. And
ripped it off like
Len
he ripped the
sat there and said he just watched the guy start crying in front of him. Like,
oh my God.
Holy fuck, I'd punch a motherfucker in the face. Holy shit.
And Stan didn't act like anything happened. He was like, oh, look at that. And just like signed the book and put it back in there and was like, there you go, buddy. Excelsior.
Wow. Yikes. Kevin.
But
all I have to say is hallelujah that this guy is retiring, because this guy, again, is 4 years old. Haven't had a chance to get the man was very available. I'm sure whatever book you want signed by Stan, I'm sure you can find on eBay about them. Okay, so just the man, the piece, using and abusing. And I also want to say that I think it's not just his promoters trying to get, just make money, that, but I also think that Stan just really loves his fans, wants to please his fans as well. But he really needs to just relax, retire, and call it.
Yeah, when I saw the news, I was kind of relieved, because I feel like you have a 95-year-old man traveling around literally all across the nation. I got to meet Stan Lee about 2 years ago. I didn't get a signature, but I did want to take a picture with him. And right before my wife and I went to go take a picture, the handlers were like, okay, don't look at him, don't say hi to him, don't touch him, don't stand too close to him. And I'm looking, I was like, do you realize I paid $100 for this picture? I said, I'm gonna sit on this motherfucker's lap if I want to.
Right.
So we're going to take the picture. And then I just, he says, he kind of nods hello and gives us a smile. And I go, hey, Stan, it's nice to meet you. He smiled. And then I put my hand right on his back, right? And I'm looking at the handler and I'm smiling, bro. I'm not smiling because I'm taking a picture of Stan Lee. I'm smiling because I dared this jack off handler. I just broke the rules. And I was like, hope you catch pneumonia. See you later. Now, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
holy shit. Hope your immune system's compromised, Stan.
I personally I feel like Stan Lee would like need his entire episode just for himself when talking about him, because of everything that he's done and everything that he did in the comic industry. But I remember briefly watching it. It's an episode of I don't know if anyone's watched it. It's called Robert Kirkman's History of Comics.
Yeah,
it's a great show. It's such a great show, and they had an episode there. It was with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and right at the end, Jim Shooter tells a story of how there was a party, and Jack Kirby was there with his wife, and then Stan Lee walked in with his wife and started talking to Jack Kirby and saying, "Hey, I know we have a lot of history, but I would love to be able to get together with you one more time and make one more book." And as Jack was talking to her, the wife just said, "Come on, let's just go," and they ended up leaving. So there's definitely a lot of history between the two, and I think it would make for a really good episode down the line just to talk about all this, because you have two of the most influential guys, period, in comic history. Stan Lee's been through a lot the last year and a half, between losing his wife, between issues with his own daughter, to his own management team, people stealing his blood and signing comics with it. I mean, there's just a lot of and there's too much going on for a man that age to have to deal with. And I'm surprised he's still around and still, talking and coherent. I know someone did have a video out there of Stan Lee signing books, and the handler just telling him this, like helping him spell his own name.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
But now here's the magic question. Everybody's talking all this shit about letting Stan rest and everything, blah, blah, blah. But now you got a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15. Stan Lee's right in front of you. Do you get the signatures or do you tell him the rest?
Hell no, let him
Is
rest,
it free?
man. Nah, shit.
Is it free?
Ruin the book.
I'm getting the signature. I don't know.
And then I'm gonna tell him like, yo, this man hates you. Don't sign his shit.
I love Stan. I love him. My boy.
So, any other thoughts on this topic? I mean, it's a topic I think we could stay on all day. But does anyone have any thoughts? Any other thoughts they want to share?
Nah, I think we covered it pretty good.
Let it rest.
Yeah.
Let it rest.
Let it rest.
Let him go to Florida. Let him go to Florida.
Anywhere he can run around naked and chase down his housemates.
Exactly.
He wouldn't survive. He wouldn't survive the plane trip.
So this week we saw the release of Fantastic Four #1. We also saw the release of about 20 variants that came out for it.
So many.
25.
So many.
25 variants, and that's just for #1. I'm sure more will come out for #2 and #3. Just want to go down the line and get opinions about these variants and these reprints that Marvel keeps putting out. Cabby.
Yeah, well, I love Fantastic Four. I love them. Okay, like I grew up on that. That was like my jam as a kid. I love them. So yes, I went out and I got a bunch of them. Luckily, they weren't as bad as the Amazing Spider-Man 800. Like that one I literally like became broke because of it, and now they're all like $2 books. So. Word of advice, just grab the covers that you want, and then that's it. Literally, just don't buy them all, seriously, because you're going to find them all somewhere else. Right. And it's going to be dirt cheap. So I really think that Marvel needs to kind of tone it down just a little bit and leave it for leave the variant covers for like a second printing, third printing, something like that. Like how they're doing the first appearance of Cosmic Ghost Rider. There was like 8 printings, I think, with all different covers. And it's like, okay, that I can understand going out and getting like every single variant of that. But when it's like literally day one launch, here's like 87 covers of just the exact same comic that you just want one cover of. And it's like, oh, well, I guess here's my credit card. Have fun. I really think that Marvel should like tone it down. Like I like how DC's doing the variants. Like they're doing like 1 or 2 here and there. Nothing crazy. Usually it's just like big artists here and there. Like I love Mark Brooks. I love what he's doing. I love all the detective comics that he's doing right now. I'm picking like every single one up because it's amazing covers. But then you look at the Marvel side and it's like, okay, I'm not going to break the bank like I did with the 800s. So I literally only got like, I got the Art Germ variants. Because you had to, because those things are just amazing. And I got the Ramos and Mark Brooks one. And that's basically it. So it's like, do I really want any other ones? I could find them at my store for probably about, $5 cheaper in about maybe a week. So save your money. That's my best advice, really, with like the Marvel variants. Go with DC, really. And as a Spider-Man guy, like, look at me. I'm saying go with DC variants because you're going to get better bang for your buck, really, I think.
Right.
Nice. Chad.
What's up? Yeah. It was a little too much. I would say just pick, like, if you're going, if money's a problem, I'd say pick 1 or 2 that you like. Don't have to get all of them. I think they're a little overdoing it, especially for even in issue #1, like all the ones you said for Spider-Man. Yeah, someone said there's 25 for this one. It's just getting ridiculous. And what I hate is when they do Marvel and DC do the 1 in 500 variant. It's like, if I'm a business, I just don't understand it because I don't see how Marvel makes money off a secondary market. Like, to me, if I'm like, hey, well, I could have a 1 in 500 variant or have 20 of them and they'll all sell. Or we could make, 50,000 of this book, charge a little more. People will buy it because they all want it, and we'll make our money. Like, we'd make more money, but it's stupid. Like the Hunt for Wolverine has a 1 in 500 variant, and the thing is going for like $1,000 raw. Or no, sorry, yeah, $1,000 raw almost now. It's crazy.
Dang.
It's getting nuts.
Agree. Drew.
I'm fucking sick of variants. I am so. I am like. I don't know if maybe I don't appreciate all of the different artists that get a chance to take a whack at doing a cover, but I mean, I'm not going to pay $25 for a Greg Land fucking variant. Like I'm seeing so much of that. I won't pay anything other than cover price anymore. I mean, I when they relaunched Cap, there was a whole bunch. I bought the Alex Ross one, and I bought the A cover. My LCS wanted $50 for the Steranko cover, and that was, I mean, it was ridiculous. I'm sick of the sheer volume of it, and it's even frustrating sometimes just to find the A covers. You just want the regular cover. Everybody's buying those because they don't want to pay $15, $20, $30 for everything else that's out there, so you end up missing out if you don't have it in your pull list. But I think it's creating a market for flippers that's really just fucking up everything. They'll get a good deal on it somewhere, and you'll see it on eBay for $80, and they pay $20 for it. And that to me, that pisses me off. Because then you don't even get a chance to, if it's you don't get a chance to appreciate the artwork that you like. You see something you like, and it's not everybody can drop $50 on a book a week. And it pisses me off. It's really where
I get.
I can't fucking stand it, man. It's ridiculous. Like, there's no reason there should be 37 different covers. Like the we were talking about it last night. The Fantastic Four, was it 37 different covers, and I think one was almost $800 on Midtown Comics.
George Perez.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, who's gonna pay $800 for a freaking book like that?
Me.
Yeah, you. I mean, fuck, bro, that's almost rent. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I'm not spending that on a book. I mean, if it was a Golden Age Cap book, sure, I'd consider it, but I'm not buying a modern book for that price.
Right.
It's just
We don't all have $600 to spend on 17,000 issues of Batman 50 like our president did.
That's true.
He'll get to me eventually. Don't worry. I got
worries. Julian, what are your thoughts, brother?
You know what? As we said, was 25, 30 variants for Fabers. I believe 55 Amazing Spider-Man 800. Yes, I buy some of them. I don't go crazy. I did a little bit go crazy with some of the Batman 50s. Steve and myself talking personally, we were texting each other about it, and I was like, dude, I like these, but I need to stop. You spend money on all these different variants, and I'm like, money, if I'd have saved that money instead of buying 20 different variants of this book, could have bought me save that money up and go towards Amazing Spider-Man 50 or a 121, 29 or something like that. But those 1 in 500 or 1 in 1000s that go for $800 and stuff like that, that stuff's ridiculous. Like that, you gotta have just around to buy that stuff. But yeah, as I said, there are some artists that I'm going to cover because I just love that artist's work. But when it comes down to it, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Boogeyman.
So,
I would love to get your opinion, not only as a collector, but as a retailer as well. Like, is there a lot of demand for most of these variant covers? And how hard is it for you as a retailer to be able to attain these covers and sell them?
Well, first off, there's 29 regular variants for Fantastic Four. Then there's another 30 retailer variants for Fantastic Four.
That's crazy.
From a collector standpoint, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I'm gonna drop the money for the period. But when you look at sales, okay, Marvel itself as a company was not pulling the sales that DC, and the biggest major reason for that was DC lowered all of their prices a couple of years ago. They went from $3.99 to $2.99. Marvel, on the other hand, jacked up their prices from $3.99 to $4.99 for most of their books. DC was killing it in the comic sale, and DC was killing it all around between regular covers and variant covers for the simple fact that there were no qualifiers to order those variants. Any retailer can order those variants just as they were ordering regular cover A. Marvel, on the other hand, was killing the game with just their variant. When you look at Marvel sales, Amazing Spider-Man 800, courtesy of comicsbeat.com, they roughly in the direct market sold 411.5 thousand copies of the regular cover A.
That's crazy.
Now, that was just cover A. They beat that number by 50% with their variants. And
fuck.
That's because we are that market.
Right.
The reason they keep doing it is because we keep buying. Right? Now, from a retail standpoint, qualifiers suck. I'm not Midtown Comics. I'm not, you know, like a big ass shop. I'm basically like a little mom and pop store. You know what I mean? So a 1 for 10 variant, I don't even try to boost up the price that much. You know, maybe $1 here, maybe $2 there. That'll sell. But now if the series sucks and nobody likes the character, I got 10 copies of that book sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
It's gonna end up in your back issues for $1.
And this is why a lot of comic book stores don't last. And it's for the simple fact of we can't compete with the demand. You know, Midtown Comics has 1 for 1,000 variants, and they got 20 copies of it. You know, just what was that book we were talking about? The black and white variant for Fantastic Four was going for
black and white George Perez variant. Was going for about $800, and that's because they could afford to do that. They're gonna make their money back.
But you see, that's bullshit though, because $800, that book was free. That book was given to retailers as a free promotional copy. The retailer itself did not pay a fucking cent for that book, and you're charging $800.
And someone will buy it.
And someone will buy it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Somebody will buy it. But it's a dirty game, but there's nothing that really anybody can do about it for the simple fact that people are going to keep buying it, you know? And now you're starting to see DC do it a little bit too. DC's starting with the 1 for 200, 1 for 300. But guess who's doing it? How many, if you look at the artists for all of those incentive variants, Jim Lee. When you dig a little deeper, you start to realize it's not really Marvel. It's the artist that's encouraging that, because Rob Liefeld will do a 1 for 500 variant with Marvel, and then he'll do a variant for DC. There's no qualifier to buy it.
Yeah, because he sucks.
But fuck Red White though.
Just using it as an example. That's all.
No, I understand. Definitely. Hey, we're gonna move on to Steve now. Steve, what do you think?
Oh, all right.
Mr. Batman 50.
Yeah, let's be real for a second. I don't give a shit about what Marvel's doing with their variants. I think, speaking personally, I got pissed off back when, I guess, around the time that DK3 issue 1 came out, and I think around that same sort of time, issue Batman 50 for New 52 came out. and I was trying to collect the entire run, all printings, digital issues of the New 52 run. The DK3 issue 1, I started buying some books, trying to get some of these variants in. I think it ended up with something, a total of 87 covers for DK3.
There's so many.
I got so pissed off. I was like, fuck variants. I'm out of that game. I'm done. I'm not spending any more money. I've already got a short box full of these variants. I didn't complete my New 52 run because I stopped buying it, Batman 50 issues. So I did a good job of staying away from variants, and then I'll be damned if Batman 50 didn't come out. I've got a freaking thing for the Bat and Cat relationship. So this whole wedding arc just crushed me to begin with.
Oh, it makes your heart happy.
It did not make my wallet happy. Straight up, for every variant they made of Batman 50, they did a trade dress, a black and white, and they did a virgin cover. To be honest, I spent probably a little over $600 in Batman 50 variants.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I did a divorce over that shit.
Tom's head's gonna explode.
How much did you spend?
Yeah. About $600 total.
About one sideshow's worth.
Not anymore. They jacked their prices up too. But yeah. And just looking over, like as Julian was saying, me and him were texting back and forth as these covers were being announced. And I was like, oh, damn, that's awesome. I got to have it. And I kept adding it to my pile. And then one day, I forgot who asked me. Someone in our East Coast chapter chat asked me to add it up. And I felt bad. I felt a little sick in my stomach for what I'd spent.
So a little bit because I couldn't.
So I'm back on my whole fuck variants trip. I'm done with them.
They always pull you back in.
Yeah, I will say I'm a big fan of what DC's doing with their. I don't even want to call them variants, but like Cover B, the minimal trade dress type variants they're doing. That's at cover price for all their books.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great idea. There's some great art on those covers and their cover price. So, occasionally I'll pick up a couple of those that I do enjoy, but for the most part, spending these $25. Julian, what was the last Jim Lee Batman 50 book you sent me? What was that, a Diamond retailer exclusive?
Yeah, the exclusive comic sketch art put 5 of them up on their Facebook the other day. And they were asking for $395 a book.
And how quick did they sell out of it?
And they sold all 5 in the space of 15 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy.
This market's not going away anytime soon. If anything, it's just going to keep going and going and going and escalating. I love the Jim Lee Batman 50 cover. I believe me and Julian both have all the variants available for that, except for that book. Like, I'm just not going to that level. I do, believe it or not, I do have a limit, and I fucking reached it.
Yeah, as he said, we both have all of those Jim Lee variants of 50, but
that's crazy.
Texted back and forth the other night, and
you guys
was
are
like,
insane.
yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, you sent me that book, and I was like, oh, shit, I got to have it. What are they asking for? And then he sent me the price. I'm like, nope, tapped out. I'm done.
So,
Control Alt-Delete.
So moving on to Tommy. Tommy, what's your take on these variants retailer incentive books?
It's kind of ridiculous. Like everyone's saying, the amount they're doing is just astronomical. And I like some of the Virgin variants or like the art appreciation variants because you get to see different artists take and things like that. And I buy the one that I like. I don't buy all of them. I'm a completionist to a certain aspect, and for a lot of those things that doesn't apply. And so that works for me. And I think Robert Kirkman actually said it best. I was reading an Invincible issue years ago. And Mark went into a comic book store to buy his favorite Science Dog issue, and there was like 10 covers of it. He's like, oh, I got to buy all these? Why is the creator just trying to rip us of all of our money? And this is exactly when Walking Dead 100 came out and the like 10 covers that were for that. And so I thought Kirkman was doing a good jab on his own books, really,
right.
Doing with all those variants and stuff. But it's pretty ridiculous.
I agree. I have actually Boogie's holding for me a ton of the Fantastic Four covers just because I'm such a huge Fantastic Four mark, and I really enjoy him. So I have him holding some of the variants for me. My wife just picked me up the Hidden Gem variant, the black and white virgin cover for Fantastic Four #1. That was just a retailer. What was it, Boogie? It was a one per shop retailer.
Yeah, it was a promo copy for the Midnight Rage.
Yeah, so I was able to. My wife was able to pick that one up, and I have it here. For me, variants. It depends on who draws them. For example, I'm reading TNMT Urban Legends right now, so I tend to pick up every Kevin Eastman variant just because I enjoy his art and I enjoy him as a person. But if it's just someone, whoever, I'm not gonna pick it up. So it usually depends on like who's the artist. I know when Secret Wars came out a few years ago, I picked up almost every single variant that came out, including all the Gwen variants that came out. And then I'm like, damn, this is really a money pit. And I kind of just pulled back on the amount of variants that I'm actually going to buy because, again, it's hard to keep up when they're making probably 20 variants for $1 or 30 variants for $1. It's going to be almost impossible. So mainly I focus now on like hip hop variants because I enjoy those personally whenever I could find them for a good price. I think the most I paid for a hip hop variant cover was probably about like $15, and that was for the Doctor Strange Chronic cover swipe book. So those are the ones I usually like to collect right now. Right. But I definitely feel that they're just flooding the market so much now that at some point I think maybe it's going to hurt sales because you have so much product out there. And not everybody's going to be variant cover crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great topic for people to learn about because, it's a cautionary tale because now we were talking about those Dark Knight 3 books. Now I'm finding them in probably like $5 bins, $4 bins, and just picking them up.
Exactly. And that's for the sole purpose. Like, if you think about it, what makes a comic book worth anything? How rare is it? Who drew it? What's the print run? And how often do you find it in good condition? They've made so many copies of these fucking books. They're not worth shit. People are just buying them at astronomical prices because of the hype. This book is going to be hot. This book is going to be hot. And then a couple months later, you find it in the dollar.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm back. Hi.
We missed you.
Welcome back.
So another topic, keeping within Marvel, James Gunn was in the news again today. This week, this week it surfaced that according to the website Breitbart, that he used to go to pedo-themed parties. So if you give me a second, I'm gonna go and share my screen with everyone. Show you some of the pictures that were on this website. Can everyone see?
Again, yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
I have it up right here. Boom. So photos of Guardians director James Gunn at a pedophilia themed party.
What the fuck?
Oh, I forgot you didn't see this yet, Chad.
I'm just catching up on this news for
the now disgraced Gunn was fired from Walt Disney Company last month after countless jokes about child rape were dug up on his Twitter account. The jokes were more than 5 years old and also mocked sensitive subjects such as AIDS, the Holocaust, Mexicans, and ass-raping women. A post about a monkey that jerked off on a child, high school kids masturbating in front of others to show how fun it is. His alleged experience of doing a reading with a convicted pedophile and how he wants to make a Hollywood film adaptation of Giving the Tree with a happy ending. The tree grows back and gives the kid a blowjob. There's that. So these are some of the photos of this pedo party, I guess.
This is real life?
This is real life. That's James Gunn.
What the fuck? Get him away from Marvel as fast.
You see Scarlet Witch right there getting choked out by a freaking clown.
Gosh, this is
Wait,
Damn.
really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's her.
That's Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah.
Yup.
Oh,
Is that
man.
really?
She should
I
be
haven't
part
heard
of-
I don't
anybody
think
say
it
that.
is.
I
No
don't
one's
think it
yet
is
been like,
either.
hey, wait, that's an Olsen. I don't
You know,
think
the
that's her.
internet would be
You don't think so?
blowing
It looks
up
like
right
her.
now if that was her.
That's probably the point, though, to make it look like her.
Yeah, so that's James Gunn. I guess he's trying to dress as a priest. I don't know if he said anything about this yet, or commented on it, but what else can you say?
What are you going to come back with?
And we're positive like none of this shit is photoshopped.
No.
I don't know. In the photo is Jimmy Urine, the singer from Mindless Self-Indulgence, and that's his wife in the yellow outfit. And they're good friends with James Gunn, have been for many years. And they've posted many photos of different random themed parties that they've had in their own homes. And I don't think anything about this is actually taken into the thought of interacting in that situation or anything like that.
But is there ever
They're
a
weird
situation-
people?
Yeah, this is Breitbart. It's a super ultra right wing kind of site. And James Gunn was very vocal about his dislike of Donald Trump. So I don't know if this was maybe something that was retaliatory or them making up fake news. I don't know. I don't know what the context is here. I mean, it's easy to take pictures of a party like this and say, hey, this is a pedo party, whatever.
Right.
But I definitely want to get everyone's thoughts. And I'm gonna go to Chad because he had no prior knowledge of what was happening. Chad, what are your thoughts, bro?
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So to speak to the thing of if he's having different theme parties, fine. But there is no situation ever in life where having a pedophilia themed party should be given the green light. Like, that's not something you joke about, something you celebrate in any way. That's just really weird. And yeah, I didn't hear about this till like 2 minutes ago when Jay said it. So if this ends up being true, I'm really glad he's away from Marvel because it's just, it's just a little too weird, a little too creepy, So if it turns out to be true,
Cabby, what are your thoughts, man? Seeing these photos and reading some of this.
We all do fucked up shit as a kid. We all do fucked up shit as adults too. I don't want to endorse any kind of pedophilia or any of that stuff. I think that is absolute garbage, and I think those people need to burn to hell. But if it's just like a party, and it almost seems like it's just people are just trying to grab more shit and just to throw at them, we threw shit at them again, it stuck, it worked, can we stop throwing shit and let's just try to figure out how we can move on, either with a new director or B, James Gunn. Let's just try to move on. Let's quit throwing shit. There's enough shit being thrown around that we need to just cut it out.
it's a shit show.
That's my opinion.
Gotcha. Drew.
Let's hear you defend this one.
Get him, Drew.
Okay.
Get him.
All right. So last week I defended James Gunn. I thought his tweets were hilarious. They made me laugh. I got a twisted sense of humor, and I'm not ashamed of that at all. Seeing these pictures, it's a little bit harder to defend him now. But dude, you know how many of these fucking parties they have to throw in Hollywood? There's no way that this is the only weird, creepy ass little pedo party. To Catch a Predator, whatever they're doing. I've been to some weird ass parties in my day. I can say none of them were pedophile based, but you got to remember, these aren't. It's not real. It's not real. He's not. He's not out there fucking kids. You know what I mean? He's dressed as a priest. He kind of looks like a vampire, to be honest with you. He'd make a great Morbius. But no, I think this isn't the last thing we're gonna hear about this either, because it seems like Marvel was supposed to be talking to him about possibly bringing him back, and then boom, this comes out. So if he can manage to get past this, I guarantee you there's going to be something else coming down the pipe that they've got held in reserve. I think it's bullshit. I mean, I hope the tea and cookies was really good at the party, though. But,
Julian, thoughts, brother?
Yeah, don't necessarily agree with it, obviously. But as Drew said, one thing. Yeah, no way. We've heard other celebrities do parties of this nature, not necessarily the parties, but parties with a theme that go to. Where will we blasting those celebrities? So it comes back to is like we have double standards. Whoever is attacking James Gunn or whatever, I think that's 10 years ago, the tweets and stuff. I wasn't on last week, but I looked for it 10 years. We all say stupid shit. You're going to judge me off what I said 10 years ago because I guarantee you we're all not the 10 years ago. So don't agree, but I don't feel like people should be attacking him for a party that either he went to or he held, especially since, there's been other stories of other, high-grade celebrities hosting parties with a strong theme that people aren't going to agree with. But yet we hear about James Gunn and the negative stuff on that, where we don't hear anything else on the other people in that photo or other celebrities that have been to parties and hosted parties like that, and the photos have come out. So that's just me. As I said, don't agree with the theme of the party, but I don't think we should be attacking him about it.
Right. All right. Boogeyman.
Does that article actually say like how long ago those photos were?
They look old.
They look old, but this is what I was saying. Like, so it's easy to take a picture and put it out of context, right? Mm-hmm. Especially when you have an agenda, right? Yep. So we don't know what kind of. For all we know, this could have been a Halloween party. For all we know, this just could have been just a party where people dress up. We don't know. Unless it specifically said, like, hey, this is a pedophile party, then okay. But
Which I highly doubt. I highly doubt that.
I agree.
So, like, in my thought process, when I first see it, you got to remember that context is everything, right? So, if someone's saying, oh, they're having a pedo party, but there's no, like, solid proof, it's really hard to prove something, right? I'm a very fact-based individual. So to me, this could have been something easily as a Halloween party or a get-together. You know what I'm saying? Where it could be easily misconstrued as something that it's not. So until we find, I'm sure once we find out more reliable news and updates, we'll definitely get that out to you, because I feel like this story is not going to die anytime soon.
Nope.
But I definitely want to get Boogeyman's thoughts on this.
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, I'm not about to start getting all like political on things and all that nonsense, but all I'm gonna say is this: like, if you're gonna have a title and call it a pedo party, then I'm imagining that there's little kids getting fucked at this party. Okay, I don't know about you, but I've been to parties where it was grown-ass women dressed up like little schoolgirls. Mm-hmm. Does that make it a pedo party? I don't think so. Well, you can't keep judging people's personal lives and like ruining their fucking careers over things that they do in their personal life. Like, to me, it's absurd, But people are gonna talk shit and people are gonna throw things at this guy because they're trying to boot him out, whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is get your facts right before you start making accusations, because then at the end of the day, you're going to look like an asshole.
I agree. We're going to look like you.
Hey, it ain't easy, bro. It ain't.
Oh, love you, Boogie. Steve, what do you think, Prez?
All right, so last week my argument was, his tweets were 10 years ago. We're not even going to give a chance for a man to grow and experience life and to change their worldviews. So I want to rewind you. I'm actually 35. Let me rewind you back to 25-year-old Steve and what he would have said in these situations. Some friend comes up to me, says, "Hey, man, we're going to a fucking party tonight. It's going to be awesome. You should go." All right, dude, what's going on? It's a themed party. It's going to be awesome. All right. What kind of theme? It's a pedophile party. Let's fucking do it. Fuck you. No, I'm out.
You can go dressed as Chris Hansen.
Even 25-year-old Steve knows better than to show up at a fucking pedophile party. Hell no. And that's all I got to say about that.
Otherwise known as Kevin Spacey's party.
Yeah, I'd ask for a little clarification before saying no.
That just seems a lot. I know me and James Gunn live completely different lives in completely different environments. I don't know what the fuck his mindset is with all that shit, but to me, hell no, I'm not doing it. No way, that's crazy. But that one's tough to defend. Like, I tried to defend him last week. I thought he should be brought back to direct Guardians 3, but so this is a tough one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not fucking kids on camera.
Exactly.
True, that's true.
He's not actually fucking kids. He's not a pedophile. He's come out openly and said he used to try and be on that edge. Like, he wanted to be an edgy guy, like the in-your-face, shocking humor, and I mean, shit.
He came from trauma.
Well, look at Marilyn Manson, though. Look at Marilyn Manson. He went through that whole phase too, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" And now look at him. He's like, still doing his shit. He's still rocking his stuff. Like, I think I saw a clip of one of his shows. He was still rocking out with the Nazi hat that he had, right? Like the little with the swastika on it. He's still rocking that at shows, and it's just like no one cares. No one cares.
They used to blame school shootings on that fucking dude. What's the excuse now?
I'm with you.
Exactly.
But those guys don't work for Marvel and DC or Disney.
That's the guy who sucked his own dick, right?
Yeah, he took his ribs out so he sucked his own dick.
Interesting individual.
Supposedly.
When he fucking got boobs, and now we got bathrooms for these people.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares, dude? What you do in your personal life is what you do in your personal life.
Look, I think we could all agree that we hate pedos and they should all be fucking castrated and hung. Like, it's a very disgusting thing. And anyone that supports any kind of that it's different between joking about it and then saying, okay, I'm going to go to a theme party about it. It doesn't make sense. And I don't think it's right. I think James Gunn is a pedo himself. I don't. I just think that he should have made some better decisions in the choices he made. But then again, like I said, like Mr. J was saying, could have easily been just a Halloween party, just one picture out of context, and someone saying, "Hey, this is a pedo party,"
Yeah.
So until he comments or we find out more, I mean, we're just going to be up in the air. But I wanted to shoot it over to Tommy and to Tom and see what he thinks and get his take.
To be completely honest, I back him 100%. I believe people they're digging for things as far as they possibly can. They'd have him and his friends would have parties all the time. People do weird things at parties. Nothing that had happened at that party, as far as we know, at least, was actually hurting anybody. I get that the theme, if that was actually the case, which I still don't even believe it was, I think they're just calling it that based on some of the costumes that people may see in the photos. It's not like the person that posted these photos or dug these photos back up was there and knew what took place. So exactly. I think they're digging for things and making something seem worse than it is. I've met James Gunn on different occasions, and he's an extremely nice guy. I know close friends of his, and they completely defend him that he's a very nice dude. He came from a trauma background, and if you've ever seen a trauma movie, they're some of the most tasteless, just shocking, trying movies you can possibly imagine. And that's because that's how they made them, because no one else would. And there's this niche of weird people that end up buying that shit. And they don't condone the actual acts of something that he's being accused of. They would never do it that way. You know, it's not a personal thing. It's a shock value thing, like you said, with like Manson and things like that. But I know I stand 100% that he is not the person people are trying to play him out to be.
It's the
Hooray,
peanut
you're on
gallery
my
with a bunch
team.
of nerds and
Hooray.
shit.
Definitely. We're gonna shoot it over to Karate Kev, Sensei Kevin. What are your thoughts, brother?
I think James Gunn is he's a weird guy. We all know that. I don't know. I really don't have much to say about it. They're just trying to dig some crap from him, so he can't continue. I don't know how to feel about the parties. I think the parties are weird, but I'm ready to move on.
Awesome. Well, I guess to close is we could just say that none of us in this club would support a pedophile. You know what I mean? We don't.
Right. No, fuck him if he's a pedophile, but
Fuck that. You know what I mean? But
if he is a pedophile, we should beat his ass. But
I would also say just don't believe everything you read on the internet. Do your research and find like reputable,
100%.
non-biased sources for your information. You know.
Next dirt to come up on him. Maybe some people. Who knows? But
Definitely. All right, guys. So we're gonna move on, and if we got any news during the week, we'll definitely touch on it next week. Right now, I want to know, what are you guys reading? What's your weekly pool for this week? What are you reading? What are you enjoying? We're gonna go down the line. We're gonna start off with Cabby. Cabby, what are you reading? What are you enjoying, brother?
Fantastic Four.
Don't forget about Fantastic Four.
Well, actually, there's a splattering of good old Batman and Green Lantern in there for you, Steve. There, I got some of that in there.
Appreciate it, buddy.
I'm a Green Lantern fan. I love Green Lantern. I really think that a lot of the writing is utter crap. Same with a lot of the artists. I really think that they need to step their game up with Green Lantern. They had a good thing going when they relaunched the New 52s, and now I'm just getting it just for nostalgia's sake. That's all I really care about now. Like, there's not a lot of good with Green Lantern. Like, it's good, but it's not that good.
Are you excited for Grant Morrison to take over the book?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he'll do an awesome job. I agree.
Pretty excited for that too.
Yeah, but other than that, just basically like the smattering of Fantastic Four books that I have.
Did you enjoy Fantastic Four #1?
I did. I enjoyed Dan Slott. I think that he was getting burnt out near the end of Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I really think that he was done after Spider Nation. Like, I really think that one was like one of his biggest arcs there. And then he did good with Silk, and it was okay. And then it just kind of went on a roller coaster, like up and down, up and down. It wasn't typical Dan Slott stuff, but I really think that Fantastic Four is where he's gonna step up and actually do good, because he's been wanting to do Fantastic Four before Amazing Spider-Man.
Right, groovy.
Oh.
Chad.
Yo. I think this week's a really late week. I think the only one I have this week is Gideon Falls, issue number 6. A series I'm really digging. It's the plot's really kind of taken. It's kind of a slow burn to building up to something, but Jeff Lemire's writing is awesome, and Andrea Sorrentino His art is amazing. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, since actually him, and he was on Green Arrow before for a little while after Jock, I think, and then they gave him Old Man Logan to start with Jeff Lemire when they started a couple years ago. So I'm loving the book, and hopefully keeps going good.
Sweet deal, sweet deal. Drew, what's your weekly pool?
Well, I suck. I didn't get to the shop this past week. Work kept me pretty much pinned to my desk, but so I'll be picking up. I think it was Oblivion Song and X-Men Blue. I'll be picking that up this Wednesday, and then I think the new Astonishing X-Men the annual #1 is coming out this Wednesday. I think it's the only book I got that's new this week, so light week for me.
Sweet.
Yep.
Julian, what are you reading?
Right now I'm really digging Green Arrow. From the beginning when I rebooted it with Rebirth. Yeah. It's one that I'm really digging out of like DC. But if you want to go like right now, my main stuff is Image. Image is absolutely killing it. And if you're into horror and you have to pick up Infidel. Infidel. So that'd be my two right now that I'm really digging is Green Arrow and Infidel.
Very good. Boogeyman, what you reading, bro?
Well, I'm gonna be that guy. So I stopped picking up single issues like forever ago. I got tired of reading a really good story and then waiting for 2 months for the book to come out. So I started picking up trade paperbacks. Right now I'm in the middle of reading Kill or Be Killed by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillip. Love that storyline so far. I love the character. I think it's a real solid story. As far as like picking things up every week, the only like single issues I'll really pick up is like if I know there's going to be a modern key involved, like a first appearance of a new character or something like that. I'll pick up a copy of that and throw it in the box. And then if I hear the buzz that it's a good series, I wait for the trade paperback to come out, and then I read it all at once. Man, I don't like waiting.
Cool, very good.
I get that.
Totally feel that. Steve.
Sometimes it's better.
Yeah, I actually just read the my past 2 weeks pool list for here recently. Shout out to Brian Hill and the work he's doing on the Detective Comics right now. It's an excellent arc going on as it's going over Batman building the new Outsiders team. Love that arc going on right now. What I'm really excited for is issue 53, I believe, of Batman. Tom King said it himself earlier this week that this issue is going to be a major issue in his complete 103-issue run. So I don't know what to expect of it as it ends the kind of Mr. Freeze on trial arc right now, but he said this is a very, very important issue coming up this week. So, that's something you may want to jump on.
Definitely. Awesome. Tom, what you reading, brother?
I do a lot of the same things that Boogeyman does with trades, and so singles, it normally just ends up being Turtles for me, but that's mostly because I'm a character in the book. But this week I bought Sandman Universe. The #1 came out, which is just kind of like a lead into all of the issues that are going to come out, all the separate storylines. There's 4 books that are coming out. 2 this month and then 2 in October, and it did a good job starting out each story and getting you interested in it. And I'd have to say I'm interested in every single one, maybe not one of them out of the 4, but I'll definitely read at least 3 out of the 4 for sure. It's some pretty cool stuff.
Sweet deal. Kevin.
I've been, as everyone who follows me, of course, I've been reading Venom. Venom is at its best right now with Eddie Brock back in the... Everything you thought you knew about the symbiotes pretty much been crumpled up in the trash. All brand. I've been like that. It's been dark. It's been really gritty. It's been really good. Ryan's second arc is awesome, and Donny Cates has been really good too. The other book I've been reading a lot too, I've been getting interested in is Spawn. Ever since Bettina has been coming on and doing covers on, I've been really on again. Story right now, but it has it's nice book. So.
Cool. This week I picked up Fantastic Four #1. Enjoyed that. I'm currently going through the Goon Volume 1, the library edition, which I picked up. It was always a book I heard about, but I'd never picked up to read. So I went to In Stock Trades and bought Volume 1 for like $25. Really good read, really cool art. Never read it before, but I'm definitely enjoying it and ordering Volume 2 soon. I'm also reading RoboCop Citizen's Arrest by Boom Studios. It was something I saw. It piqued my interest a little bit. So picked up the first issue, and just it's a really good story. It's kind of like it basically RoboCop's out of commission. He's not able to wield the gun again. There's no more Detroit police. Now citizens pretty much rat on each other. They use an app on their phone to report crimes, and then they come like these and then they get arrested and stuff like that. It's a really good read and really good I guess topic when it comes to like social media and things like that. So it's definitely a good read. I'm definitely enjoying it. Looking forward to some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Urban Legends. Really enjoying that run, just because I never got to finish it when I was younger. So that's pretty much what I'm reading this week.
Yeah, that Urban Legends is a little more gritty than the old one, though.
Absolutely, fucking love it. Yeah, I think that's why I like it so much. So,
you know what another good one is? I don't know if anybody ever read Sherlock Frankenstein. I thought that was a really good storyline.
Agreed with you there.
And another newer one that just came out
excellent.
long ago, Skyward.
Mm-hmm.
Skyward's a good storyline too. You guys can definitely check all of those out.
Most definitely. So as we're winding down here for the day in this episode, I want to encourage everyone to head over to our YouTube channel, which you are on now, and click subscribe our channel.
Yeah, you're already here. Just click it.
Just click subscribe. Not gonna hurt. Also, check out our Instagram page. It's Comic Book Fiend Club, as well as our Twitter page, which is CBFC Social at Outlook.com. You'll find us on Twitter, where we try to be as interactive as possible with everyone. Any upcoming events? Anything that anyone's going to? Chad, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going to Fan Expo Canada. Is in Toronto in about 3 weeks, I think. I'm going to Thursday and then going to Saturday. So that should be good. They got a lot of good artists. They got Matina, Capullo, Snyder. They got John Byrne, which I'm really excited about because I'm a huge Alpha Flight fan, and his run on X-Men was amazing. Jock, of course, he's gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome. Can't forget Lee Bermejo is going to be there. So they really stepped up this year and got a lot of really, really hot artists that are really good right now, and a lot of European artists in Matina and Jock and John Byrne, who never come over here at all. So I'm really excited for that.
Chad, you're going to get us all sick.
I can feel it coming through the microphone.
He's got cooties, man. He's got cooties.
The cootie virus. Cabby, you have anything coming up soon?
Yeah, I got the Red and White show in Calgary, Alberta. It's literally just kind of like a small little pop-up shop. A lot of local vendors, a lot of local collectors kind of go there just to offload collections and stuff like that. But usually you can find some really big deals in there. Was it one time one of the guys that I know, he went with literally 2 or 3 books to just trade, and ended up walking out of there with 181 and probably about maybe 30 other books. And it's like,
Jesus.
well,
Wow.
that's good. And he didn't
It's a good
spend a
day.
dime on it. It was literally just all trades. That's all he did. So it's kind of one of those shows where you just go and just kind of like open up your boxes and just say, here, what do you got? What do you got? So it's nothing too crazy, but it's a good little community thing. So
That's a dope concept, though. Go
Very
great.
cool.
Mad money.
Very cool. Boogie, Hasbro Heights Comic Expo. You want to touch on that one?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys aren't aware, if you're in the greater New Jersey area, New Jersey Comic Book Shows.com. Out that website, it'll give you every show in the state of New Jersey. This one coming up on August 19th. It's Hasbro Heights Comic Book Expo. 283 17th South in Hasbro Heights. Basically, it's just like it's nothing crazy. Like, you're not going to go and see like major artists, but they pick up one of them long boxes. So
yeah, I think you and I should head over there and check it out. Definitely.
Yo, we in there like swimwear, baby. You
I
already
think
know.
we should go and see what we do. Definitely, 100%. Let's see who else. Tom, any upcoming events coming up for you guys?
Yeah, not this coming up weekend, but the 24th through the 26th is Comic-Con Palm Springs. And it's kind of a newer show, but this year they have Jim Lee and Sean Murphy. And
Nice.
I'm a big Sean Murphy fan. I actually have
Nice.
a Punk Rock Jesus tattoo on my arm.
Oh,
and
that's
so
awesome.
I've never met him before, and I have stupidly large amounts of books to take with me. And so we'll see how long it takes for him to kick me out of his line. But that should be a good time.
Awesome. So, just to make everyone aware, the East Coast chapter will be going to Baltimore Comic Con. This is at the end of September 28th, 29th, and 30th, I believe.
Yep.
Tons of awesome guests. Going to be a good time. We're probably going to do a live podcast from there, probably like a post-show, post-con recap, what we picked up, who we met, any of our experiences. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. As well as, I know West Coast, they're going to be going to, what is it, LA Con?
LA Comic Con.
LA Comic Con.
yeah, there's LA Comic Con
when is that?
in October. So it's in October. I'm not exactly too sure. I think it's near the end of October.
Cool. That's
I want to say it's the last weekend of October.
That'll work, most definitely. Sweet. So just make sure when you see us at a con, come up to us, say hello. We want to interact. We want to talk to you guys. We want to give you guys stickers. We want to give you guys pins free of charge.
Colds.
Communicable diseases.
Chad's gonna give you strep throat. It's gonna be awesome. And like I said, it's gonna be good times. So, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We'll give you all the updates, including times, where we're gonna have the next show. We're working on a couple of other projects, other shows. I'm hoping, if everything goes well, we'll have our podcast up officially on iTunes and Podbean, Google Play within the next week or two. Hopefully everything goes smooth. So, anyone has anything else to add before we sign off for the night?
I think we're good, bro.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the people that joined us tonight. Kristen Brown, Tex, Mr. J, Eric, all of these guys that
Jamie,
and listen to our crazy ass answers. But Mr. J made a little comment. Follow Mr. J at Mr. J for all you Hawaii people out there. He's going to be at Amazing Comic Con on August 24th to 26th. So aloha, bitches.
Aloha, bitches. All right. So with that, we're gonna shoot it over to Chad. Chad, sign us off. God.
I got nothing good this week, man.
Good, thank God.
Chad, you've had all week.
Oh,
I've been busy, man. I've been busy.
Failure.
Just
Last week sign off, but I'd be damned if you didn't do it.
just go ahead and do last week's sign off.
Oh, okay. So see you next week. Same Fiend time, same Fiend channel.
Oh,
And hopefully by next week, Chad would have broken his puberty. See you guys next week. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.